Shalom, family, and welcome to another new moon. We've gathered on this evening as Yahweh has commanded the children of Israel to also observe the new moon, which is the beginning of a new month. And through the new moons is how we also are able to tell when we're in a new year, which we have not reached yet, but we're here to observe another new moon. So shalom to everyone. Tonight's class is called the Head Priest Consultant. The Head Priest Consultant. And this came about because I've heard many people say different things roundabout. Well, who does Esaac go to when he need priest Esaac go to when he need to talk to somebody? And there's situations and circumstances that he can only come to me about up until a certain point, and you guys, brothers or sisters, up until a certain point. And after that certain point, he has to go somewhere else for consultation. But for some reason, people want to find out or want to know who does he talk to. And you'll find out the same people that want to find out who he talks to, they don't seek counsel. And then there's another situation where, people seek counsel from him and might think that, well, Kish is going to know certain situations and circumstances he keeps to himself. He has to carry that burden. There's circumstances and situations where you guys come to me and I have to carry that. I don't go tell him. I've got to carry that. So to want to sit in the seat, a lot of people don't understand the weight that comes along with sitting in the seat. I'm not the head priest, so I still get the liberty of going to him with circumstances and situations for guidance, for advice, for correction, for reproof. His status is different. When you look even in the Hebrew for the word consultant, you can't find the word consultant. What you'll find is counselor, advisor, teacher. These different things will come up for consultant, but you won't find consultant itself. When you look at the word consultant, Merriam-Webster says one who consults another, one who gives professional advice or services. At the end of the day, the biggest professional, the biggest expert is Yahweh. I mean, we've got to look at some of the things that people are doing nowadays, and we think it's something fascinating. Yahweh did it in the beginning, way before a man's feeble mind could even grasp the concept. Artificial insemination. The first doctor who did it, it was a big deal. The ultimate physician did it way back when. Let's begin tonight in Exodus chapter 4, and we're going to read verses 10 through 17. So we can grasp and get a better understanding of where the people in charge, the head priest, ended up having to go for the ultimate consultation.
Exodus 4, verses 10 through 17. And Moshe said unto Yahweh, O my Adonai, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and slow of tongue. And Yahweh said unto him, Who hath made man's mouth, or who maketh the dumb, or deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Have not I Yahweh? Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say.
Now, in the Sabbath class, we've heard it before when they brought about the situation of who sinned. this man or his parents. And here Yahweh is telling you in the beginning, I make the dumb. I make the deaf. I make the blind. Go ahead.
Verse 13. And he said, O my Adonai, send, I pray thee, by the hand of him who thou wilt send. And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Moshe. And he said, Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he can speak well, and also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee. And when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart. And thou shalt speak unto him, and put words in his mouth. And I will be with thy mouth, and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do. And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people, and he shall be to thee instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be to him instead of Elohim. And thou shalt take this rod in thine hand, wherewith thou shalt do signs.
Okay, my brother. So here it is. Aaron's coming along, but Yahweh's laying down the order of things. So even though you're going to be to him a God, what he says, and I will be with your mouth. So I'm in control of your mouth. And with his mouth, and will teach you what you shall do. Advisor, counselor, teacher. Those all fit under consultant. Where did he go? He's making excuses. I can't do this. I can't do that. Yahweh said, okay, well, here's how we're going to take care of that. That's advice, right? Okay. Let's go to, even in this situation with Moshe, we see Yahweh giving him instructions. Does anyone know what the first instruction was that was given to Moshe? Can anyone recall? Think about Moshe's first encounter with Yahweh. What was the first instruction given to him? Say it louder. Exactly. Exodus 3 and 5. And he said, Draw not near. Put off your shoes from off your feet, for the place wherein you standeth is holy ground. Would you say just like here? Would you think we just made that up? Would you think we just want to walk around and look at everybody's toes? It's instruction, counsel. What do you think would have happened if Moshe hadn't heeded and kept proceeding? He'd had to kill him where he stand. Let's go to Exodus chapter 18. You got to think about the inquisitive nature. He said what? He kept drawing near to see why the bush was burning, but it wasn't being consumed. Yahweh had to lay stipulations down. Exodus chapter 18, and let's begin at verse 13.
And it came to pass on the morrow that Moshe sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moshe from the morning unto the evening. And when Moshe's father-in-law saw all that he had did to the people, he said, What is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning unto evening? And Moshe said unto his father-in-law, Because the people come unto me to inquire of Elohim. And when they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the status of Elohim and his laws.
So, consultant, the people come to him. And the advice that he's given is based off of what Yahweh has given him, not what he thinks, feels, and believes. He says right here, when they have a matter, they come on to me. But what did I state earlier? People want to know, When priest Esaac has a matter, who does he go to? Keep going.
And Moshe's father-in-law said unto him, The thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away, both thou and this people that is with thee. For this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform in it thyself alone. Hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and Elohim shall be with thee. Be thou for the people of word, God's word, that thou mayest bring
Elohim words.
That thou mayest bring the causes unto Elohim, and thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and thou shalt show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear of Elohim, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, and rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And let them judge the people at all seasons. And it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thy, and they shall bear the burden with thee. If thou shalt do this thing, and Elohim command thee so, then thou shalt be able to endure, and all this people shall also go to their place in peace.
Now, this is Jethro, his father-in-law. And people might not remember. He is a priest of Midian. The key point to all of this is he gives all of this instruction to Moshe of what he should do. But then he gets right down here and it says, if you shall do this thing and Elohim command you, so then you shall be able to endure, and all this people shall also go to their place in peace. So he knows at the end, with all this advice that he's given, the ultimate advice has to come from Yahweh. If Yahweh don't agree with this, hey, Moshe got to throw that to the side and keep it moving. So he knows the ultimate advice, the ultimate commandment, the ultimate word has to come with Yahweh. And he stated that after all this long speech and devising this and breaking this down and putting this one over here, and hey man, it's still all up to Yahweh. But he knows what? If Yahweh come to you and deal with you, at this point, Moshe is the head priest. Go ahead.
Verse 24. So Moshe hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he had said. And Moshe chose able men out of all of Israel, and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And they judged the people at all seasons. The hard causes they brought unto Moshe, but every small matter they judged themselves.
So what happens when a hard cause comes to Moshe and it's not something that he's ever dealt with before? Can he go back to those same men that he picked who only deal with the small matters? Can he consult with them? And he's going to have to be able to take it to a higher power, right? Let's go to Exodus chapter 20. And we're going to read verses 18 through 21. Everybody wants to sit in the seat but don't understand what comes along with it. That's why some people take to just, hey, standing behind a microphone and a camera and spewing out classes. That's a whole different level than to take on a congregation. Moshe is dealing with the congregation of the children of Israel. He can't just haphazardly deal with stuff. Go ahead.
Exodus 20, verses 18 through 21. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moshe, Speak thou with us, and we will hear, but let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die.
So right there, we broke the opportunity to be able to consult with Yahweh directly. Our people, our forefathers chose this route. Go ahead.
And Moshe said unto the people, Fear not, for Elohim is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood far off, and Moshe drew near unto the thick darkness where Elohim was.
And here's the thing, that's the thing also with Moshe saying, fear not. Sometimes we want to bring people along, but we need them to stay where they at. Because in the long run, it's going to cause you less problems and less headaches and not provoke the angel. So if he had said, fear not, and everybody said, all right, I guess it's cool, then we'll be dealing with a whole different situation, whole different circumstance. It was best that they stay fearful. Go ahead.
Isn't that it? Verse 21.
Verse 21, yes, sir. All right, let's go to Numbers chapter 11. Numbers chapter 11, we're going to read verses 10 through 17. You know, we've got people even in this day and age, hey, counselor is a big money making job. But you'll find that a lot of people are afraid to seek counsel. Man, we all have problems. We're all broken. And if you think you A-okay, then you're delusional. Some of us got angry issues we need to work on. Others might have lying issues they need to work on. Some of us have fearful issues we need to work on. Trust issues. But if you can't confide in anyone to let them know you're broken, how are you ever going to get fixed? That's the problem with some people. It's like they might tell you something about how they're broken, and they get mad because you might have said something to someone else, but they're not realizing that the person I said something to is the one that can help you. I can't help you. Because what? You're never going to go to that person and tell them. Go ahead, Rick.
You know, when you look at the situation with Moshe's father-in-law, you may, if you just look at it on the surface, it may look like a situation of, you know, he listening to him because that's his father-in-law. Mm-hmm. But when you examine that and look at it, this man is experienced in this situation. Right. He's just not giving counsel because he was a priest when Moshe met him.
Right, exactly.
You know, this ain't nothing that, this is what he does. Mm-hmm. So accepting counsel from your friend and versus accepting counsel from somebody that this is what they do is something that's totally different.
Right.
And that's what we like to do. We like to get the advice from the people that we may hang out with, the people that we're cool with, but that don't mean they know what they're doing. That's not what they do. Yeah. And this is what this man did and does.
And Moshe knew that because he lived with him for 40 years.
Yes.
But like you said, we'd rather run to our friends and our buddies and people you hanging out with every day, and you know that they ain't got a lick of sense. But this is who you go to. Hey man, we all have things to work on, but we have to be able to find the right consultant for that issue. I can't have car issues and go to my tax man. Unless he used to be a mechanic before he became a tax consultant. All right, my brother. Numbers chapter 11, start at verse 10.
Then Moshe heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent. And the anger of Yahweh was kindled greatly. Moshe also was displeased. And Moshe said unto Yahweh, Wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? And wherefore have I not found favor in thy sight, that thou layest the burden of all this people upon me? Have I conceived all this people? Have I begotten them, that thou shouldest say unto me, Carry them in thy bosom, as a nursing father, breathing the sucking child, beareth the sucking child unto the land which thou swearest unto their fathers? Whence should I have flesh to give unto all this people? For they weep unto me, saying, Give us flesh, that we may eat. I am not able to bear all this people alone, because it is too heavy for me. And if thou deal thus with me, kill me, I pray thee, out of the hand. If I have found favor in thy sight, let me not see my wretchedness.
Now, in this situation, how many people stop and look at the weight that is put on the head priest? Moshe's at a breaking point. I've had enough. These people are wearing me down. Hey man, y'all don't know when some decisions are being made, and this man, our head priest, is crying over the decision that he know he has to put forth. Nobody's around when I'm wrestling and battling and punching my pillow because I know the decisions that's got to come down. It's not an easy seat to sit in. The head priest's seat is not an easy seat to sit in. So when he goes seeking consultant and he gets an answer, hey man, he might not be happy about that answer. But when you look at the overall flock, the overall congregation, hey man, do you lose 100 or do you lose 99 for one? All you guys see is the decision that was made, but you don't see the toiling that goes on before execution. But people want to know, who does priest Esaac go to when he needs consultant? You got to fall in front of this altar and pray. Send up prayers and supplications. The answer and the outcome isn't always what we want. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest to be the elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee. And I will come down and talk with thee there, and I will take of the spirit which is upon thee, and will put it upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear it not thyself alone.
Now, look at this situation that Yahweh's setting up. Didn't we hear something similar before?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But now Yahweh's doing what? I'm going to take the spirit that's on you and put it on them. That didn't take place before. Why? Because now you're going to have to deal with holy things. You're going to have to deal with spiritual things and righteous things. This ain't just about the people and what they're going through. That man said, let me not see my wretchedness. When you look at even the word wretchedness, it also says failure. If he turned around and walked away, he's looking at his own failure. You've got a job to do. If he walks away from the job and lives, then hey, he's going to have to look and deal with his own failure. That's why that man said, nah, kill me so I don't see my failure. Kill me so I don't see my own wretchedness. Go ahead.
Oh, that's it.
Okay. Let's go to Numbers chapter 22. Numbers chapter 22, and we're going to read verses 1 through 22.
Numbers 22, verse 1 through 22. And the children of Israel set forward and pitched in the plains of Moab on the side of Jordan by Jericho. And Balak, the son of Zippor, saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. And Moab was sore afraid of the people, because they were many. And Moab was distressed because of the children of Israel. O Moab said unto the elders of Midian, now shall this company lick up all that are round about us, as the ox licketh up the grass of the field. And Balak the son of Zippor was king of the Moabites at that time. He sent messengers therefore unto Balaam the son of Beor to Pethor, which is by the river of the land of the children of his people, to call him, saying, behold, there is people come out from Egypt. Behold, they cover the face of the earth, and they abide over against me. Come now, therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people, for they are too mighty for me. Peradventure, I shall prevail that we may smite them, and that I may drive them out of the land. For I...
No.
What? You said no?
K-N-O-W, no. For I know that he whom you blessed is blessed.
Let me see the... Oh. For I know that he whom thou blessest is blessed, and he whom thou cursest is cursed. And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the reward of divination in their hand, and they came upon Balaam and spake unto him the words of Balak. And he said unto them, lodge here this night, and I will bring you word again, as Yahweh shall speak unto me. And the prince of Moab abode with Balaam. And Elohim came upon Balaam and said, what men are these with thee?
Now, we see this first encounter, and his answer is, I will bring you word again, as Yahweh shall speak unto me. I'm going to seek counsel. I'm going to go to my consultant. Whatever he advises, that's how we're going to deal. Go ahead.
And Balaam said unto Elohim, Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab, hath sent unto me, saying, behold, there is a people come out of Egypt, which covereth the face of the earth. Come now, curse me them. Peradventure I shall be able to overcome them and drive them out. And Elohim said unto Balaam, thou shalt not go with them. Thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed. And Balaam rose up in the morning and said unto the princes of Balak, get you unto your land, for Yahweh refuseth to give me leave to go with you. And the princes of Moab rose up, and they went unto Balak and said, Balaam refuseth to come with us. And Balak sent yet another prince, more and more honorable than they. And they come to Balaam and said to him, thus saith Balak the son of Zippor, Let nothing, I pray thee, hinder thee from coming unto me. For I will promote thee unto very great honor, and I will do whatsoever thou sayest unto me. Come therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people. And Balaam answered and said, Unto the servants of Balak, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the word of Yahweh my Elohim, to do less or more. Now therefore, I pray you, tarry you also here this night, that I may know what Yahweh will say unto me more.
Now, Yahweh's already answered him. At the point of when he said, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the word of Yahweh my Elohim to do less or more. That should have been it. Get away from me, don't come back. Yahweh's already given me an answer. But it kind of lets you know there's something else off in his heart. You got to know when to cut it off. Hey man, no, I'm not taking this back to Yahweh. He's already given me an answer. But your continuous dropping going to Yahweh, because he's the one that keeps going to Yahweh. Yahweh gonna say, Yahweh has to say, okay, there's got to be something inside of you. You keep presenting this to me. I already gave you an answer. You came to me for counseling. I've counseled you already. Go ahead.
Verse 19. Now therefore, I pray you, tarry ye also here this night, that I may know that Yahweh will say unto me more.
What Yahweh?
What Yahweh may say. And Elohim came unto Balaam at night, and said unto him, If the men come to call thee, rise up, and go with them. But yet the word which I shall say unto thee, that shalt thou do.
Now, let's slow this down. And Elohim came unto Balaam at night, and said unto him, If the men come to call you, rise up and go with them. Go ahead.
And Balaam rose up in the morning, and saddled his ass, and went with the prince of Moab. And Elohim's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of Yahweh stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his two servants were with him.
So he went for consultation, got consultation, but still did as he pleased. What is the sense of wasting your time and Yahweh's time if when you get the counsel, you're not going to heed it? You're not going to go through with it. This man rose up and went. Didn't second guess anything. Just went and did what was already off in his heart. We all go through things, and Yahweh deal with us in different ways. But as he's dealing with us, we got to understand that even some of the things that's put upon us, you got to sit back and wait. I remember having a dream, a vision, delivered it to who I needed to deliver it to, but then I threw my own thought processes of who it could be, and when it all went down, I was completely wrong. Because to be honest with you, I was still stuck with people from the past. Didn't see it was somebody present. When it all went down and we sat down about it, I was like, that's interesting. Didn't see that coming. We all got to figure out what is being said to us, how we're dealing with it. Like I said, what's the sense of seeking counsel and wasting your time and the consultant's time if you don't plan to put any of it into effect? You had a question?
I mean, you kind of answered it all, and I don't want to ask no dumb question, but
There's no such thing as dumb questions, just unanswered questions.
I mean, you kind of said it though, because from the Bible study that we had a a week or so ago was saying that we are a nation of priests. So in the event that my head priest isn't there and my under priest isn't there, and I seek counsel from Yahweh, like how do I know how long was it going to take and stuff, like how do I decipher from my own thought process from his? But you kind of answered that already.
All right, and we're going to get to one of them situations as well. Let's go to Matthew chapter 26. And like I said earlier, you have to figure out how Yahweh deals with you. But if you're quick to run and move, I've started to realize that a lot of stuff on that next level of scripture, Yah will bring it to me when I'm by myself doing something just focused in peace and quiet. I could be out in the backyard and Yah will just reveal something plain just looking at plants. Matthew chapter 26, and we're going to start at verse 36. And this goes right along with the question that you just asked.
Matthew 26.
Yes, sir. Verse 36 through 46.
36. Then cometh Yahshua with them unto a place called Gethsemane, and saith unto the disciples, Sit ye here, while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Cephas and the two sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then saith he unto them, My soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here, and watch with me.
So he's going to go seek counsel. Okay? So he's already told one set of the disciples, Sit you here while I go pray yonder. You want to know where the head priest goes to get counseling and who's his consultant? Now, how does he go about it? He goes and pray. Yahshua has left the majority of the disciples behind. Sit you here. And then he took a few with him. Right? But even when it came down to go into the counselor's office, he said, Nah, y'all stay here. You can't come in here in the counselor's office with me. This business is between me and the counselor. Go ahead.
And he went a little further, and fell on his face, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. And he cometh up unto the disciples, and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Cephas, What come ye not watch with me 1 hour?
What could you not?
What could you not? Watch with me 1 hour. Watch and pray, that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. And he went away again the second time, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. And he left them, and went away again, and prayed the third time, saying the same words. Then cometh he to his disciples, and saith unto them, Sleep now, and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that doeth betray me.
So here's our high priest going to his consultant. Did anybody hear a reply? But he knew what the answer was, right? Same thing. You got to understand how Yahweh deals with you. Because your question was, how long? This wasn't a day or two. He already knew what was required of him. He was just trying something, see if it could change his mind. It's like Balaam. Balaam already got his answer. What, he thought he was going to change his mind? Yahshua knew right away, okay, it is what it is. But like I said, even the high priest, our high priest, went to his consultant, right? He had Cephas around, he had the sons of Zebedee, he had all these other people. Why didn't he sit down and chop it up with them? We know what Cephas was going to tell him. No, this ain't going to happen to you. He already said it. But the answer, the ultimate answer that Yahweh gives his head priest is not always what the head priest wants to hear. But in the end, like Yahshua, hey man, I got to go execute this business and take care of this business. Whether Cephas like it, whether Zebedee like it, whether Mishael like it, whether Imalael like it, hey man, I got to take care of this business. Whether Kish likes it, hey, the ultimate counselor has spoken. Chop, chop. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 1. Like I said, throughout the years, I've heard that question come up. Who does priest Esaac go to when he needs counseling or when he needs a consultant? I hope everybody's getting the answer. Hey, for a short period of time there, had the weight on me. And had situations come barefaced in front of me. And hey, I was like the disciple who took out the sword and chopped the ear off. Sister Rebecca was, Kish, calm down, calm down, calm down. You're making something. But then at the same token, like I said earlier, there's things, situations and circumstances that we're privy to that you guys are not. So all you see might be this harsh or quick decision. No, there's other things that have gone on. And like we've all sat down and talked about, when we look at every situation of someone being asked or told to leave, right then and there at that moment, we get in our feelings because all we're looking at is the last situation that might have happened or the current situation on the table, and we're thinking that that's it. But then as we all get together and we start sitting down, wait, what? You experienced that with that person? You went through that with them over there? What? They did what? They said what? What? Then you realize, boom, 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 boom. Let's put it all together now and see how we got here. It wasn't just this rash decision, was it? Compound interest. Now it's time to pay the piper. Go ahead, my brother.
Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 1 through chapter 2, verse 1. The burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. O Yahweh, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear, even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save? Why dost thou show me iniquity, and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that rise up strife and contention. Therefore the law is slacked, and the judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass by the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth.
So in verse 4, therefore the law is slack. And this is what we've gotten used to. The law is slack and judgment does never go forth. That's what we want. We see all these stuff and we go through all this stuff, like I said, when we sit down and we compare notes. But then when the judgment does go forth, you've killed the people of Elohim. That's what we've gotten used to. Judgment never. Not going forth, he says never goes forth. For the wicked does compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceeds. So, if the wicked is compassing about the righteous, when righteous judgment does happen, what do you account it as? Wrong judgment, because you used the wrong judgment. Any judgment is wrong judgment. Because what? We used the wicked compassing it. We used to the judgment of the wicked. So we're always looking at wrong judgment. So when right and righteous judgment comes, it's wrong too. They shouldn't have did it this way. They could have handled it this way. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Behold, ye among the heathens, and regard and wonder marvelously. For I will work a work in your days which ye will not believe, though it be told you. For lo, I rise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land, and to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs. They are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves. Their horses also are swifter than the leopards, and are more fiercer than the evening wolves. And their horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as the eagle that hasteth to eat. They shall come all for violence. Their faces shall sup up as the east wind, and they shall gather the captivity as the sand. And they shall scoff. They shall scoff at the kings, and the princes shall be as scorn unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it. Then shall his mind change, and he shall pass over and offend, inputting this his power onto his God, his El. Art thou not from everlasting, O Yahweh, my Elohim, my Holy One? We shall not die. O Yahweh, thou hast ordained them for judgment, and Almighty El, thou hast established them for correction. Thou art a purer eye than the behold evil, and canst not look on iniquity. Wherefore lookest thou upon them that deal treacherously, and holdest thy tongue when the wicked devoureth the man that is more righteous than he, and makest men as the fishes of the sea, as the creeping thing that have no ruler over them. They take up all of them with the angle. What? Oh, the angle, sorry. They catch them in their net and gather them in their drag. Therefore they rejoice and are glad. Therefore they sacrifice unto their net and burn incense unto their drag, because by them their portion is fat and their meat plenteous. Shall they therefore empty their net and not spare continuously to slay the nations? I will stand upon my watch, and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
And I will stand upon my watch, and set me upon the tower, and watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I will answer when I'm reproved, when I'm corrected, when counseling happens. Verse 2, and Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that reads it. That's why people like to stay out of this book. That's why people want to tell you what they think, feel, and believe. But we should all be in the habit of, no, let's see what the book has to say about it. That way we get out of our thought processes, our own feelings, and what we perceive, and see what the book has to say. That's the mediator. That's the equalizer. All right, the last piece we're going to do tonight is Psalms chapter 16.
Psalms chapter 16. Preserve me, O Elohim, for in thee do I put my trust. O my soul, thou hast said unto Yahweh, thou art my Adonai, my goodness extendeth not to thee, but to the saints that are in the earth, and to the excellent, in whom is all my delight. Their sorrows shall be multiplied, that hasned after another L. Their drink offering of blood will I not offer, nor take up their names into my lips. Yahweh is the portion of mine inheritance and of my cup. Thou maintainest my lot. The lines are fallen unto me in pleasant places. Yea, I have a goodly heritage. I will bless Yahweh, who hath given me counsel. My reins also instruct me in the night season.
So I will bless Yahweh, who has given me counsel. He's my consultant. My reins also instruct me in the night seasons. Does anybody know what reins are? You have reins on a horse. That's how you guide him. Okay? So what is it saying? My reins also instruct me in the night seasons. What is the reins? The words that Yahweh have given me, the consultation that I have received will instruct me in the night seasons. Why the night? It's darkness. That's when most of us want to do the most folly because we think we can't be seen. This man say, even in the darkness, the instructions that I've been given will guide me, will instruct me. Go ahead.
I have set Yahweh always before me, because he is at my right hand, and I shall not be moved. Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory rejoiceth. My flesh also shall rest in hope. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. Thou wilt show me the path of life, in thy presence in fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures for evermore. Sorry.
All right, my brother. For you will not leave my soul in the grave, neither will you suffer your Holy One to see corruption. You will show me the path of life. But do we want to see the path of life? Do we want to understand the path of life? Your path of life right here. They say Bible. I say it stands for basic instructions before life everlasting. Why? Because we all gonna have everlasting life. But where? Every man is guaranteed everlasting life. Them in the lake of fire got everlasting life. So let's consider the things we read. Let's keep this in mind, that this is the path of life and the instruction of life. So for those of us who are not in the head priest's seat to go seek counseling from Yahweh, you have him to go seek consultation from. And like you said, if he's not available and I'm not available, get in your book. Lean on your brothers and sisters. But make sure it's a brother or sister that has been proven that they're walking in righteousness. Has a good rapport among the people. That's key. I've just realized that that's key. A good rapport among the people. Because there's been some people in leadership position in the past that when you actually got around people, the rapport wasn't the same. You have something, my brother?
No, I was going to say, if you don't mind, can you go a little more in depth of that good report, an example?
I mean, good rapport is us. Here's what we don't do. We don't sit around and talk to each other about individuals, like I said before, and ask questions of different encounters. Because once we get together, the reports are different. That's good rapport. You sit down and you say, wait a minute, you mean this one was stomping out of here and coming and going as they please and disruptive? What? But we see it and we're not engaging each other with conversation to say, hey, you know, I see this out of this person. It's like I said a while back. Priest Esaac isn't around to see everything. I'm not around to see everything. So back to what my brother Yonah said earlier, we're to be a kingdom of priests. So we all need to be responsible and mindful. If nothing else, take a page out of Sister Uziel's book. Get up out the room and run. Hey, one of y'all need to be in that room. Conversation being had that I think y'all need to go listen to. If you're not that person that wants to be confrontational, go get somebody else who will do it. And sometimes it's not even about being confrontational. You just sit back and say, that's not right. That's not correct. Show me where you're getting that from. Because in every situation you can't run. Somebody come up and ask you a question. Ooh, there's Sock. Sock. He got a question. And we all got to get in the book. We all have to be able to engage each other and ask questions. We all have to be able to sit down and give a report. Just like y'all can say, Kish is confrontational. Can I see all the hands who agree with that? So that's when they want to know the report of the brother Kish. There y'all go. New person coming through the door. He's confrontational. We'll let you know right now. So there's no secret and no thrown off guard later on. Everybody's story on that should all match up. He's confrontational coming from Yonah. Michelle, he's confrontational. Elijah, he's very, very confrontational when it comes to Elijah. But that's how we should be able to give a report, to understand the rapport of a person. Not just because that's your buddy or your friend. Nah, I'll be honest. I hang out with him, but he a dirty scoundrel when y'all ain't looking. Let's be honest. Okay? All right, that's all we're going to do for tonight. Everybody enjoy your new moon. Shalom.
Shalom.